Hey guys, and welcome once again to my channel. If you have been here and if you haven't, it is so nice of you to pass by. Today's video is going to be this super cute table DIY. I got everything from the Dollar Tree, and I also threw in a little bonus with this floral arrangement. Most things are from the Dollar Tree, so if you want to see how I made both of these things, then just keep on watching. Okay, so starting with the table, you're going to need some waste baskets. Depending on how tall you want your table to be, you will need 2, 3, 4, or maybe even more. In my case, I'm using only 3 of them. You're also going to need a pizza sheet, something to glue everything together, some paint in the color of your choice, and obviously a brush to paint with. And then I'm also using some zip ties. You'll see later why I do this. So I'm starting by taking 2 of my waste baskets and putting one on top of the other. Now the order doesn't really matter because you're going to have 2 waste baskets glued together like bottom to bottom, and then 2 other ones glued together top to top. So the order that you do this doesn't really matter, but I am starting with bottom to bottom, and I'm just putting a lot of glue around the entire thing. And make sure that you use a glue that is really good, because this is what's going to hold your entire table together. That's why I didn't really bother like trying out a Dollar Tree glue. I just used my E6000 because I know that it is very sturdy and it's going to keep everything in place. So once I put all that glue, I just place the wastebasket right on top, and this is when I come in with the zip ties. I'm using this to hold the table together in place because the glue does take a few hours to dry completely. So I'm just tying the wastebaskets together, and then like 5 hours later, once everything is dry, I just like cut them, and it's just super easy to remove. And I used 3 zip ties around the whole thing. I thought that that was a good amount to like hold it together. Then I'm bringing back the other waste basket, and I'm pretty much doing the same thing as you can see, but this is when I'm gluing like top to top. And this part is a little more tricky because since it's not like a solid surface like the bottom of the waste baskets, it's a little uneven and you may see it at the end, but once everything is dry, then it really doesn't matter because it did stay in place. And yeah, it looked really good at the end actually. So I'm just once again putting a ton of glue around the entire thing, and then I just glue both pieces together. I also wanted to point out, I don't know if you can see, but there is like a solid line on the waste baskets. That's just like a manufacturer thing. That's where the wire meets. I don't know if you can see it, but I'm lining all of them up right now. And I just wanted to point out that you have to line them up. That way they're all like in the back or hidden or wherever you may want to put them, but just so that everything is lined up on the same side. Now I glued them together and then put 3 zip ties, just the same as the other one. And then at this point, I am gluing the pizza rack or the pizza pan or sheet on top of the entire table. Now at this point is when you have to decide if you want your table to be wide at the bottom or at the top. I chose to do the wider part at the top because I thought that the skinny in the bottom was like a more modern look. I may be completely off on that, but it looked that way to me as opposed to the wider part in the bottom. And once you line up your pizza sheet completely even, then make sure that you put something really heavy on top. I'm just using my marble coasters because they're pretty sturdy. And yeah, just let it dry for a few hours. And once everything is completely dry, then you want to come back in and paint your pizza rack. That's if you wanted another color. Like if you wanted it to be silver, then that's your choice. But I wanted everything to be white because it has more of a farmhouse feel to it, in my opinion. And yes, I am completely aware that my paint is looking super patchy. It was so dry, drier than I thought it was. And I tried to fix it, but it didn't really work out that well. If you wanted a completely even surface, I would actually spray paint the whole thing. But like I've mentioned before, I don't have like an outdoor space. I don't have a balcony, a backyard, anything like that. And when I spray paint inside, it's kind of a hassle, and it's also not very safe to do that. So that's why I just chose to like brush paint it. But to be completely honest, once the whole thing is dry and it has kind of like a distressed look, I actually kind of prefer it. It gave it like more character, and again, it just gave it more of a farmhouse feel. So while that is drying, I'm going to move on to this little bonus DIY. So I got this little tin at Dollar Tree as well, and it is so cute. I just could not resist it. I always get my floral foam at Dollar Tree also. And then these eucalyptus branches I already had, but I'm sure that you can find some cheap ones somewhere. I just already had these, so I didn't feel the need to like go and try to find them anywhere else. These are from Target, by the way. So you want to use some wire cutters and just cut down your branches to the size or the length that you want them to be, and that is what I did. And then once all of them are cut, then you want to bring back in your little tin and your floral foam, and you want to just put your branches in. I was actually kind of hoping that I wouldn't need anything else and this would just be like a eucalyptus arrangement, but deep down I did know that I would need it to fill it in with something else. So also, I don't know if you noticed, but my branches were like making the whole thing just like kind of fall, so I just needed to put more floral foam. So if you do this, then make sure that you get 2 packs of that foam. And then I had these flowers already and I just filled in the whole thing with that. Didn't really show you that process of putting those in because it's a little redundant. And then lastly, I got this reindeer moss also from the Dollar Tree, and I just put a lot of that like over the floral foam because I don't like the look of it when it just like shows on top. And then I did get 2 packs of that moss, but I ended up using just one of them, so this will depend on like how big your arrangement is. And once I'm done with my arrangement, we are completely done. I am so happy with how this turned out. I had this really large wall and I had never been able to find something that would fit perfectly there, and now this just looks so good there and I just love how it turned out. By the way, this little black candle is from Dollar Tree and the other one is just one that I already had. If you enjoyed this DIY, make sure to give this video a thumbs up and thank you so much for watching. Bye.